Pre-diabetes.
If you write it out and you do it like that, you can. Unfortunately, that maneuver, which was a long practice of my people and the culture, complaining, but complaining is mainstream now. Like everything that you could have ever made fun of Jews for, I'm like, yeah, but you're all doing that now too. Like you're all doing that. Like that was our shit. Like I know Jewish girls that people bring them their cell phones and they're like, call my company, and they get off the phone and they give them the phone back and they're like, you have an upgrade and you're getting the new iPhone in a month and I got $10 off your annual bill. Oh, also you get free data when you travel now. And like sometimes it just takes like a good, and these are like good like a Ferengi. You get like a wheeling dealing.
That's why they're the best attorneys.
Yeah.
That's why, you need a Jewish attorney if you're.
You know why they're the best?
The brick wall.
You know why they're the best attorneys?
They're like money obsessed, right?
Back in the day, very, very actually, but that's a side part of it. Back in the day, there when, like in New York, when there were cases that would come up that were particularly ugly, that you wouldn't win, no firm would take it. Like if it was like this guy went into a house and he fucked the dog and then killed the dog and drained the blood all over the children, and he's claiming innocent. Everyone was like, yeah, we're not going to do that. We're not going to mess up our win record to represent this shit. But they needed to find them lawyers because that's the country that we live in, that, you have a right to a lawyer.
Sure. And
who stepped up? They're like, someone draining blood on the children sounds like a job for us. And so Jewish lawyers have basically just been like lawyering on hard mode since taking those cases and doing it like and now you get these lawyers that are like fourth generation of taking the worst cases in places like New York, and that's why the biggest firms are around, because they got good at it. And then 70s, 80s, 90s, people start doing it. I mean, you can double check everything I'm saying could be wrong again.
Nah, I believe
this is from
it sounds believable enough.
Malcolm Gladwell. It was like some Malcolm Gladwell podcast thing that I was listening to. But yeah, then they ended up being good at that. Also, even like media, like Jews running media is because they weren't allowed to own land. So they had bookstores. And so they opened and ran bookstores, and then books became radio and TV and stuff.
And don't forget investing in film and stuff, because they weren't allowed to do theater. And film was bawdy at the time. It was not in vogue, but they realized there was an opportunity there and made it much bigger than theater.
Jews love theater.
You couldn't lend money like with interest to a fellow Jesus loving brother, but they're like, who we could sin for us? The Jews. And someone was like, is that sin spelt with a $sign? Because then yes, you can.
Because I'm down. Yeah, dude, I would help. I would help the Orthodox Jews. Like if they paid me, like I'd hit their elevator button, like on their day and all that.
God bless them. They'll spit on you.
they'll spit on you.
They'll like spit on you for not being Jewish. They're like fucking. They're like the ones that are like, we're not paying taxes. We don't even want to be here.
Oh well, I didn't know they were going to be mean taxes. To me.
No. What do you mean? They'd be mean to me if I was like, yeah, I'm Jewish. They'd be like, yeah,
Orthodox. They're like hardcore religious fundamentalists, right?
Yeah,
they like cluster in their own communities, homeschool the kids, arranged marriages. I went to I think might have been in LA. There's a big Jewish community, and a bunch of Orthodox Jews came out, and I was there, and they just looked at me like I was the scum of the earth. Like they were just silently debating what to do about me, and I was just waiting on my Uber for some event.
Did you look like LA. That at the time?
No,
that's what I'm picturing in my head.
Okay,
yeah,
I didn't look that different. I was probably wearing all blue, bright blue, and a bunch of gamer stuff. So I was very out of place everywhere I go in the world.
And they're all dressed like they're going to
solid
church.
Black. Yeah, like
it's
going to
hot
a funeral.
And they're wearing big coats and stuff.
They're dressed like it's the fucking Matrix, and it's cool. Okay, if I was gonna be a Jew, I'd go all the way. I want those funny.
You think
sideburns.
You could hack it? You think you could pass the tests?
Absolutely.
I assume there are tests.
Pass the tests. I mean, what you study a little bit, and you're in, right? It's just like Latvian Orthodox. When I joined the Latvian Orthodox Church, it wasn't that hard.
What about adult circumcision?
No, you
Yeah.
go if you want to be like Catholic. They're like, what? I'll dunk you right now, bro. Let's get baptized. You come to Jews, they look at you. They're like, too poor.
They're like, we don't know if you're what we're looking for with the direction we're moving our franchise.
So are they like Scientology? They're like Scientology. A really rich guy shows up and says he wants to be Jewish, and they like, let me see your bank account. Yep, we'll fast track you. We'll get you in a couple of weeks.
They're like, oh, what? Well, you're a professional athlete.
Yeah.
You're in. Like we're gonna goose our numbers with that.
We were talking about this a while back.
I
I've
have
never
heard
been
that. Nice.
baptized, which apparently is a
Ultra
real rare
Orthodox.
thing. I'm sure Harley hasn't either. But for us Gentiles, it's I don't know anyone else who wasn't baptized. I need to ask my parents what the fuck
I'm
happened.
baptized. Man, they've dropped the ball.
Or maybe they made some sort of deal.
Didn't get baptized until I was like 19, but I still got baptized.
You still knocked it out. You're covered probably.
Yeah, but I went through that whole childhood of Southern Baptist, hell and damnation, and brimstone. Nope.
Don't you see demons?
That shit sucks.
Yes, sometimes.
You see real demons. So I'm not going to use you as a case study
No.
for baptism, and it's been.
I love the
its
frown, the
effectiveness.
over like the frown response you get because of the fucking giant clown lips.
How do the demons
Wait,
make
do you
feel?
see demons? You see demons?
It's a long, very long story, but the short version is much more prevalent in childhood than in adulthood. I suffered from hallucinations, not the schizophrenic kind where you really, well, I mean, as a kid, I thought they were like real, As an adult, I might see things like a shadow person walk by super quick or something like that. And I know it's not real, and I know it's my mind playing tricks on me, but as a child, they were much more intense. And I saw a whole bunch of crazy ghosts and demons and things that talked to me and all sorts of crazy shit. I think it was a combination of a very unpleasant medical condition I have and a very
you
toxic
spoke about
home
this on the
environment.
show, right?
Yeah, I did. I
Yeah,
told the
this is
story and
ringing a
stuff
bell
like
to me.
that. So I, in the past, have seen things like demons and ghosts and supernatural events, and I also have very, very bizarre dreams where a very unpleasant thing often talks to me and kind of controls the scenario.
So I'm Jewish, right? And I married a Catholic girl. And so we were trying to find a rabbi who would marry us. And we were at a Christmas party, right? And I was talking to this woman whose house it was. She was like, actually, there's a rabbi here. And I go, where? And she goes, he's actually kind of progressive. And she's looking around. And she goes, there he is. And I was like, the guy eating ham? And she was like, that's him. So I
That guy's
walk
a
up
king.
to him and I go, hey, man. And he goes, hey, I'm Rabbi Brian. I go, hey, Rabbi Brian.
Rabbi Brian.
And I go, is that ham? He goes, it is delicious, right? And I was like, yeah, you're my guy. You're my fucking guy.
Is it harder to find a rabbi who will do it than like a Catholic priest who will do it, or are they both like, no, you have to do our religion?
Well, my wife knew a Catholic guy, priest who would do it. It was also hard because we were doing it on Saturday before sundown. So it was like a double whammy for this.
Yeah.
We called him the inappropriate rabbi because the next time we saw him, he was dirty dancing with his Catholic wife at a karaoke bar. And I'm like, look at this fucking guy.
Motherfucker, Rabbi Brian.
Right? Rabbi Brian rules. I like that
The
guy.
most Jewish thing about Rabbi Brian is the scam he's running.
The most Jewish thing about Rabbi Brian is he's not even Jewish.
Rabbi Brian is redheaded, just clearly Irish Catholic, but he's
It was amazing.
unbelievably
Fucking freckles.
He's very miserly, so people
We
think
loved Rabbi Brian. Yeah. He was my kind of rabbi. We got married in New Orleans. He opened the wedding with "Shalom, y'all," and I was like, I love this guy.
New Orleans is the best. Like I mean, that's my favorite cuisine. Like
Oh,
that's
yeah?
my
Great.
favorite. Just the food. Like I went to WrestleMania in New Orleans, and just every meal I had there, I was like, I always knew this cuisine, and I always had it here and there, but I never had it here.
Yeah.
And it was the best food. I mean, the
It's
place
very
was
good.
very scary, actually. Also,
Thank you.
Yeah, but the
We're about
food
to
was
shit on New
delicious.
Orleans. Buckle up. So I've been there. I used to drive to the West Coast constantly to blow shit up, and I'd have to go through New Orleans, and I'd make my stops there.
And fuck, eh?
And fuck, yeah.
Oh, hey, Kyle, yeah.
Yeah. And it's just such a sewer. It's such a sewer of a fucking city. the people there are such trash, and the people who come there to like have fun are trashier than the trash residents there. They're like, you know what's fun? New Orleans. Anybody who says that is just. God.
I was just there for WrestleMania, and then I ate everything.
Yeah, it's
Did I mention
the food's very good.
Did I mention we got married there? And my wife is from Louisiana.
Oh, nice. Oh,
she's from Bourbon Street. That's where she the part that Kyle's talking about.
I just every time I've gone, it's just piss in the streets and horse shit in the streets, and it's like medieval fucking times. There are harlots in the street with their nasty titties out. There's dudes pissing everywhere in the streets. There's women pissing in the streets. There's horse shit that has turned to a different substance because it's mixed with beer and piss, and it's just smeared everywhere. And everybody's so goddamn poor that as soon as somebody starts throwing a little money around, everybody breaks out and fights each other over ones. It's crazy.
Yeah, but those beignets, oh my God.
They're really good.
Yeah, I want some jambalaya.
Cafe Du Monde beignets are the best.
Yeah. Oh, I bet I'd like it. I bet it made me cry, though. I'm a pussy about stuff like that. If there's a fucking emotional scene or something, I'll be tearing up and crying the whole way through. I
hate when a movie's like the boy in the striped pajamas, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I want to do today. The boy,
cry.
Fuck, look at the cover. Like I'm sick already in my stomach. Like I'm trying to watch a movie and chill. It's my day off. I'm fucking get attached to a baby, and
when I watch
play it through.
Yeah, you're just gonna put yourself in that.
When I watch a movie, I'm like, oh man, it's so horrible that those things happen. Do you watch it from a different point of view? Or are you like, God?
Harley's like, I would have put a stop to this.
It's funny because like that's the thing that you get through multiple different stages in your life, like depending on what your brain is and what the exposure is. And I'm at a time in my life where I see about like more about like how I was exposed to it. The first time anything Holocaust related, I was walking into my aunt's living room, where my parents were watching with my aunt and uncle, and I looked at the screen and it was black and white, but there was a little girl and her jacket was red. You saw the red. Mm-hmm. So right away, and it's like, this is like Spielberg. So in a millisecond, like I don't realize like the fucking same author as Captain Hook. Like I'm like looking at the screen, like, and they're like, you got to go. And now when you're like 7, you're like, what? They're like, you can't watch this. And I'm like, I'm pointing, I'm like, it's she's here. I could be here, and I could have been. I could have been.
He's not going to be for much longer.
And I'm just like, I've never seen the black and white with the color pop, and it was just there's a lot of reasons why I wanted them, but I had to leave, so I left, and I didn't watch it. Didn't know what the movie was, and then like I said, pay-per-view. It ended up coming onto the TV. That's like basically the same as like YouTube back in the day, and I remember watching.
You have to explain that. That's depressing.
Yeah. And I remember watching it and seeing like you see the girl in the red jacket early on, and I watched and I recognized when there was Jewish stuff. But like because I recognized Jewish shit. I like, Hebrew school or like holidays. Like I was always like, who's God? What's Jewish? Why is no one in my class Jewish? And like I just connected that, and people were killed and there was like crazy imagery, but I don't know what the fuck was happening. And I don't think I ever sat through the entire thing.
Of Schindler's List? That's the movie.
No. Then.
Yeah.
Like, but anyways, and then there's different times and then you get what it is. But like, I just remember like, you watch it when you're like, and this is why always young guys like Andrew Tate fans or any young guys like I just remember I always remember how my brain was working at a certain time in my life, and I remember being like that age 16 17 18, like I'm like dead serious being like, yo, I'll fucking die killing a Nazi. I'm watching Saving Private Ryan and I'm watching the Jewish guy get slowly stabbed in the watchtower, and I'm like, you fucking bitch, bro. You fucking bitch.
You're like yelling at him like, fight back, you can take
literally
them.
I'm like mad. And if there was a bald guy there that was like, I'm world kickboxing champion, I'm fucking rich, I bet you don't like how that guy just got stabbed, right? fuck women, I'd be like, yo, bro, fuck women, dude. Like I was ready to be more, and so just consuming it then. And like nowadays, whenever like I can't look at the Holocaust and be like, what they did to my people. I'm always just like, humans are fucked, dude. Like because the same thing is like, because the feeling that I would get from the Holocaust, I could watch a slavery movie and feel the exact same way, because at the end that's on all of us. I'm like, fucking humans, bro. When we're like off the chain, we get really crazy with it.
Lord of the Flies.